We're gonna start this 30-minute core blast just coming into a comfortable seated position on your mat. So crossing at your shins or your ankles, and maybe even the dominant leg you cross. So switching, just kind of changing things up a little bit, creating just different habits in the body. So before we start, we're gonna start to activate our transverse abdominal muscles. So if you've taken my core class before, you know that it's really super important for us to understand the muscles to activate in order for us to get the best results. So our transverse abdominal muscles are kind of located towards the outside of our belly button by the ribs. So these are also the muscles that help us to breathe. So when we activate these muscles, they're really super deep, deep, deep within us. Then we start to work towards the superficial muscles, which are which are our rectus and our obliques. So it's an easy process that we're gonna do. Let's just pause for a moment, close our eyes so that we can just set an intention. So I invite you to set an intention for your practice today. It's gonna be very energizing, very minimal breaks. So start to tune into your breath. So just take a few deep inhales and exhales, just to solidify your space, ground down for a moment. Maybe took you a little bit to get to your mat today. Just let go of anything that you bring onto your space. Taking this time to pause before we begin this core blast. Now with that intention in the forefront of your mind, let's start to activate those muscles. So open up your eyes, place your palms right onto your ribs, and then we're just gonna do a deep inhale as you squeeze your navel into your spine, and then exhale, let it go. So we're gonna do that a few times. Let's do 5 rounds, right? Inhale, squeeze it in, exhale, let it go. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. The last time we're gonna hold it in for 5. Really try to draw the navel in towards the back of your low back, and then release, let it go. Just kind of shake it out, wiggle it out. We're gonna do 2 just like that. So I want you to think about a vacuum, like you're really vacuuming. So we've done this before, we've held for 20 seconds, all right? So same thing, hands by your ribs, inhale, exhale. We're gonna do 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, hold it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, squeeze it in, and release. So you can do this throughout your day, right? And notice how you feel even tomorrow when you just do this simple little, right, exercise, if you will. Okay, same thing, hands on your ribs, inhale. So you're just vacuuming the navel into your spine, and exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Let's lay on our backs. We're gonna start with some eagle crunches. So lower yourself down, bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a little bit of a hug. We're going right into it. Arms reach all the way up towards the sky. Take your right elbow underneath your left elbow, cross, and then connect the palms together. Take your thumbs to your third eye. We're gonna do the same thing with the legs. Extend the legs up towards the sky. Take your right knee, wrap it around your left, and then all the way around. Okay, make sure the low back is pressing down into the earth, the whole spine imprinted. And then we're just gonna extend the limbs in opposite directions. So on your inhale, extend. Exhale, pull the elbows towards the knee, lift your chest. Good, inhale. And exhale. So let's just kind of move at our own pace, finding our own rhythm. And that is what the union of yoga is, right? Because we're all in different alignments in our practice, in our life. So we want to create our own rhythm. Good, so we're just kind of moving and grooving. So tapping the elbow to the knee, making sure that you breathe as you lengthen and squeeze on your exhale. Maybe even hold your breath and pause for a moment. Beautiful. We're just moving with the breath, making sure the low back stays pressing down into the earth. That's the most important part. And then on your last round, tap the elbow to the knee, tiny little pulses. So little tiny pulses as we tap and release. Finding that connection. And tap, hold, open up your arms, open up that wingspan, keep the knees hugging into the center. We're gonna move from side to side. So just kind of rock and roll from side to side with that eagle wrap. Right? This is going to help to strengthen the low back just a little bit. Release any tension that we may be holding on to. Good. And then extend the legs up towards the sky. Keep that crossed action. So the right knee still stacking on top of the left. Reach, grab a hold of the pinky edges of your feet. We're coming into reclining Gomukhasana. Ooh, and you should feel that in the outer glutes. Just releasing any tension in the piriformis muscle. Pressing the knees into the belly, getting into that digestive system. Who couldn't use a little bit more of that in their life? And then let's come back to center. Extend the legs, extend the arms up towards the sky. Take the opposite elbow. Left elbow underneath the right. Cross palms connect. And then the left knee crosses on top. Take half bind, full bind, whatever's your preference. And then we'll begin. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. And then find your rhythm. That's it. Just breathing. You can even close your eyes. Right, and this will help to shut out that sensory organ so that we can really feel the sensations. As we trust, as I always say, in your body's wisdom, in your own intuition. If something doesn't feel good, maybe even in the shoulders, then make your adjustments. Keep tapping, making sure that maybe you even pause at that exhalation. Hold your breath. You have Ujjayi, finding that audible breath, and then tap, hold, little pulses. Beautiful job. Make sure the chin is away from the chest. 2, 1, hold, hold, hold. Open up the arms, release the shoulders, head and neck. And then once again, we're just gonna move from side to side. Releasing the small back. You can make even some circles if that feels good. Bringing the belly in, or the knees in towards the belly. And then extend the legs back up. Keep that crossed knee action. Reach around, grab a hold of the pinky edges. Reclining Gomukhasana. So this is a pose that we usually take in a seated position, which we might at the end of our practice. And you'll notice a little more challenging when we're rooted in our sit bones when we take this. All right, let's come back up to center. Take your legs up towards the sky. Reach for the toes with your fingers. Keep the low back pressing down, and we're just gonna reach, tap, and lower. Lift, lower, just some basic crunches. And then we're gonna add on the low legs and the upper body so that we can find this full range of motion. Not just working the upper core, the lower core, reach. And if this is a lot, you can hammock the hands behind the head, making sure that you open the elbows. Just really finding that lift. Staying connected to your breath is always the most important part of our yoga practice. No matter what we're doing, good. Hold, lift, reach for those toes. Tiny pulses, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring everything into the center. Wrap your hands around your shins. Once again, give yourself a hug. So now we're just gonna add on that low and upper core. Hammock the hands behind the head, opposite hand on top if you chose to, right? Take that position. Beautiful. We're gonna take the legs, extend them out behind you or in front of you, and then pull everything in. So we're releasing, inhale, and exhale, crunch it in, pause. We want to find that little pause at our exhalation. Inhale, extend, release, exhale, pull it in. Inhale. Let's move a little bit more quickly. Stoke that inner flame. Start to generate some heat in that body. Pull it in, making sure that you're still pressing that low back into the earth. Maybe even lifting the tailbone up as you pull the knees in, getting a little bit more on that low core. Those are the rectus abdominis muscles. Good. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Pull it in, pull it in. Tiny pulses with that upper body. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull it in, slowly start to release. Flex the toes, press the heels towards the top of your space. Palms onto the thighs. We're gonna take these, I think they call them jed bugs, I don't know. We're just moving, we're moving and grooving. Lift the chest, chin is away from your chest. Take the left hand behind you, take the right leg forward. And the right hand or the opposite hand can just stay connected with that thigh. And then we're just gonna switch. So left foot, right hand above your head, and switch. Let's move. Generate that heat in the body. So the core is considered an endurance muscle, right? So that means we just go to burnout. That's it. Go to burnout. It's not necessary to take breaks. Like if you were working on a different body part, the legs, the glutes, which I thought right during this time that I would try and build them, but it's not working so great for me. It's not in my genetics, but it is. So let's just keep moving. All right, here, let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7. If you need to release the head, that's okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug it in. Let's take you 3 rounds. Good. All the way back. Let's start to stimulate those paraspinal muscles. Let's come into our boat pose. Here we go, boat. Spiral the pinkies in towards each other. Lift the palms up, bicep in line with your ears, and then lift up. Awkward pause in between your tailbone and your sit bone. And we're gonna find a little bit of static hold here. Just for a moment, and then we're gonna take these into some Russian twists. Hands in prayer position, right at the center of your heart, and then you're just gonna twist it out. So we're gonna go side to side. Right? If you need to release the feet, that's okay. This is your journey, your practice. Going a little bit more. Just making sure you're still breathing in and breathing out. Side to side. Find your rhythm. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to that boat pose. Remember, it's that awkward little flat bone, that sacrum. And then bring your knees into your chest, cross at your ankles. Let's come into a seated position. Take a few rounds of our seated cat-cow to release the tension in the spine that we hold on to. Right? So on your inhale, carve out your chest, pull your shoulders back and away, and lift your gaze, let your head fall back. And exhale, round and curl, chin to chest. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, ground and root through your sit bones, carve out your chest. And exhale, round and curl, pull your navel into your spine, chin to chest. So just ride the wave of your breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Sit up nice and tall, carve out your chest, exhale. 1 more. And exhale, chin to chest. Just float your head above your shoulders. I'm feeling like we need a little bit of neck rotations. So let's bring your chin down to your chest. I just got this feeling that we need that. Chin to chest. And then take your chin all the way over to the right. Let your head fall back and then come back over to the right, come back to center. Let's do it to the left. Over to the left, let your head fall back and come back to center. To the right, skull falls back. Over to the right, back to center. Inhale. And exhale as your head falls back. 1 more full cycle. Over to the right, let your head fall back. And then back through, over to the left, let your head fall back. All right, come back to center. Let's come into tabletop position. So adjust, right? Shoulder in line with your wrists, hips and your knees are in one line. Make sure the toes are hidden behind the knees. Curl your toes, protract your shoulders. Good. We're just gonna lift the knees. So we're gonna come into this hovering tabletop position. Beautiful job. Stay here. Eyes of the elbows in towards each other. So most importantly, especially in plank or forearm plank, is that we're not collapsing into the shoulder blades. You want a tiny little C curvature of your spine. Step your left foot back, plank pose, right foot steps back. Bring your big toes to touch. And then let's come into side plank, Vasisthasana. Rotate on the knife edge of your right foot and then peel your left arm up towards the sky. And we're gonna take a few rotations from side to side. Back to center, inhale, exhale over to the right side. So right arm reaches up, inhale to center. And it's okay to have a little space between your toes and your heels. Over to the left, you're just gonna stagger the legs a little bit, and that's okay. Inhale to center, exhale, right arm reaches up, inhale, and exhale. Beautiful. Inhale to center, shoulders are over the wrists. Exhale, pull it up. Inhale, make sure you're not spiking those hips up. Hips are nice and neutral. Inhale to center. Exhale, plank pose, or sorry, exhale, right side. And then let's come to plank. We're taking it right into downward facing dog. So Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's start to move and groove. On your next inhale, extend the right leg to the sky. Exhale, shift to plank and knee to nose. Gently step your right foot in between your hands. Left hand plants, right arm peels up towards the sky. And then take that right hand as if you were reaching back for someone's hand. Let's come into a twist from here. Beautiful. Take your hands into prayer position. Left elbow outside of the right thigh, just to kind of wring out the organs for a moment. And you can drop that knee at any point in time if you're not feeling steady quite yet. And let's come back to that twist. Ooh, oh, I dropped my dice. Good. Let's come into high crescent lunge on your inhale breath. Stay here in a high crescent lunge. Hands come into prayer position. We're gonna launch into warrior three. So we use all of this strength that we build in our core to find our balance, right? So it all makes sense. So we're gonna launch, that left leg comes up. Hard flex the toes. More importantly than trying to get that left leg up as high, we're really trying to isometrically pull the inner thighs in towards each other so that everything is in one line. Okay, so if you fall, right, that's okay. Acclimate your space. Beautiful. We're going to be here for a little while, so it's okay to make any adjustment that you might need. Maybe you reach your arms forward and your biceps are in line with your ear. All right, going a little bit deeper. Root down into that right foot. Bring the left knee into your chest. Wrap the left foot around, taking an eagle wrap. Now you can just stay here if you want, or if you want to take the full bind, arms reach up towards the sky. Left elbow underneath the right, make your connection in eagle. And we're gonna move into some eagle crunches, standing. See how there's a method to the madness? Oh, it all makes sense. I like when it makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't. Let's tap, elbow to knee, lift up. Elbow to knee, lift up. So we're taking humble, elbow to knee. If you fall, it's okay, lift up. I invite you to have some fun. I encourage you. Let's go for 3, 2, not easy. Last one. Come back to your eagle. Let's come into mountain pose. Release all the way out. Shake it out. Move that energy around. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, fold it all the way through. Uttanasana. Inhale, take your hands to your shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands on the earth, bend your knees. Step back into your plank pose. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale, let's come down to your knees, lower to your chest and your chin, and then release the belly onto the earth. Peel yourself up, inhale, and then exhale, lower yourself back down. Inhale, carve out your chest. Bend your elbows, exhale, lower. Just navigating through this, inhale. And exhale, close your eyes. Inhale, we have 3 more to go. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your heart. Exhale, last one, inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. From here, right, we're gonna take bow pose. Bend your heels towards your glutes. Reach around, grab a hold of the tops of the feet. We're gonna take a nice back opener, so back bend. This is one of my favorites. So on your inhale, you have to breathe through your belly or breathe through your diaphragm. Let's lift up. Kicking the heels away from the glutes. Trying to spiral those shoulder blades down your spine. Keep breathing. Hold for 5 more. You got this. Trying to find your pubic bone if you can. And slowly release. Release your feet down. Palms come underneath your shoulders. Curl your toes. High plank position. Deep inhale breath. Right, we're taking those Vasisthasanas again, which is just our side plank over to, knife edge of your right foot. Left arm reaches up. Back to center, inhale. Over to the other side. Back to center. Left arm reaches up. Back to center. Right arm reaches up. Come back to center, downward facing dog. So find a little bit of movement. I like to pedal out the feet. Circle the hips. Inhale, extend the left leg to the sky. Exhale, shift to plank, knee to nose. Gently step your left foot in between your hands. Right hand plant. Left arm peels up and overhead. Deep inhale breath, left arm reaches back behind you, and then we're coming into that twist. Once again, ooh, good. Hands in prayer position, right elbow outside of the left thigh. Making sure that you stay with that knee over the ankle. Beautiful job, crown of the head, magnetically pulling forward. Really engage your quad, your inner thigh, so that your adductors kind of work together to keep you stable. And then take that twist once again. So left arm back, right arm reaches forward. Inhale, let's come all the way up to high crescent lunge. Hands in prayer position, launch into your warrior 3. Hard flex those toes. It's okay to keep a micro bend in that left knee. I encourage you to keep a micro bend, right? So we're not hyperextending anything. Toes are flaring towards the left shin. Find your balance. Remember that when we work on our core, it's all about that girdle. It wraps around your whole entire torso. And that's where you want to be, right? Finding that engagement, and then you'll stay balanced. Simple as that. Let's come all the way up. Right knee into your chest, wrap it around. Half bind. I should have encouraged you to take half bind if you weren't taking full bind. Toes stay connected, or wrap it around. Okay, arms come all the way up to the sky, right elbow underneath the left. Taking eagle. Pull the left hip forward, right hip pulls back just a little bit, and we're gonna do those taps. So tap and lift, tap, lift. Woo, and if you fall out, come right back in. Tap, lift, 3, 2, and 1. Hold, hold, hold. Lift up, come into your mountain pose. So that side for me is a little bit of a struggle. That's okay. Mountain pose, inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky, gaze up, and then on your exhale, fold it all the way through. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale to fold. Plant your hands, send your right leg back. Left leg steps back, plank pose. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale, drop to your knees, lower chest and chin. Slide your belly onto the earth. Beautiful. Let's take a few rounds of those cobra poses. Up for 1. Lower down. Inhale. Lower down. Spread your fingers. Inhale. Notice all the points of contact on the earth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Bend your knees, grab a hold of the tops of your feet, and then lift up on your inhale breath. We're only going to be here for 5 breaths. So you can do this. Drop your awareness inward. So really feel the rhythm of your breath. Where are you with your barometer? Last one. And lower all the way down. Right. From here, palms underneath your shins, underneath your shoulders. Good, curl your toes, press up into high plank position. Ooh, there was a moment. Drop your right forearm down to the ground, and drop your left forearm. Stay here in your forearm plank. Interlace your fingers. We're gonna breathe in, you're gonna squeeze every muscle for 5, 4. Remember that vacuum that we did? We're doing it on our forearms. Last 1. And release, stay here. We're gonna do that 5 times. Inhale for 5, engage your belly button. Really lift in and up. Contract. And release. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. We have 2 more to go. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, Exhale, release. This time we're gonna hold at the top. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really contract, contract, contract. Hold it. Press into those elbows. And release. Stay here, drop your hips, uncurl your toes, Sphinx pose. Pull the elbows towards the hips, hips towards the elbows. Give yourself a moment to be still. Good. And then slowly release everything down. Palms underneath your shoulders, curl those toes, high plank position. Let's take those side plank movements once again. So over, left arm peels up, back to center, inhale. Right arm peels up, back to center. Left arm, back to center, and downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good. Pedal out your feet, bring lots of movement. And I promised you that Gomukhasana. On your next inhale, right leg extends all the way up to the sky. Let's take a little inversion. Knee to nose, step your right foot in between your hands. Good, let's come up into a standing split. So left leg is gonna lift up. Maybe even checking in with your balance by lifting the fingertips or just framing out the foot, grabbing a hold of the ankle, trying to find as much length as you can. So the toes are in the midline, or the right toes. Let's take that left knee behind the right knee. Really extend those left toes out towards the right side of your space and then lower yourself all the way down. That's a nice fun way to get into this pose. So Gomukhasana, right? We're just stacking the knees on top of each other, just like we did when we were grounded or when we were lying on our backs, right? In the beginning of our practice. So we're stacking. If you have a block and you're finding that you can't connect, bring the earth up to you, right? Place the block underneath that bottom. And then find a little bit of stillness in this position, or walk your hands forward, allow the belly to rest on the side. And we're gonna be here for a few breaths. Come back to your intention. Slow down the rhythm of your heart. And I had this weird epiphany this morning. I don't even know how it came to me, but I was talking to my daughter and I thought about why we upgrade our phones. And I'm like such a simple person. I don't really like technology. I'm not like super good at it, whatever. So I thought to myself, well, we upgrade because there's always a better version, right? And I thought about that with our thoughts. Like we can't stay with the same thought patterns and expect to grow, not just even physically, but emotionally, mentally. So we need to upgrade our thought. So think bigger. And at the end of our practice, which is coming soon, I am going to read this thing that came across my desk after I had this kind of epiphany, and this is how the world works. All right, let's come back. I figured I would share that with you. Okay, so we're sitting on our bums. Let's roll back, scoop out your belly. It's coming back into that boat pose. Okay, stillness. And then we're gonna take those Russian twists again, hands in prayer. Here we go, side to side. Side to side. Trying to keep those hips as neutral as we possibly can. Moving from side to side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back to center. Now we're gonna cross, roll over into that tabletop position, and we're gonna step back into that plank. So in our plank pose, protract those shoulders. Inhale, shift forward. Let's take that chaturanga. Pull your heart all the way up to the sky, root into the tops of your feet, and then roll over those toes, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, the left leg is gonna sweep up to the sky, knee to nose, step the left foot in between your hands. Standing split, right leg extends up towards the sky. So a little bit different than our warrior three, because warrior three, we want those inner thighs to kind of magnetically, isometrically pull in towards each other. This time we just want to really reach the right toes up towards the sky. And then take a micro bend in that left knee, take the right knee behind the left, extend those toes towards the left side of your space, and then lower your bum down wherever you land as gracefully as possible, and then stacking, right, the knees. One side is always gonna, our bodies are asymmetrical, so one side is always gonna be a little bit more open, so we should be grateful for that. Place that block if you need it. And in our Gomukhasana, like I would walk around and make some adjustments. Sorry about that. I never have my phone, but I wanted to read you guys something. Sorry about that. So usually the adjustment I would make is to really make sure that your heels are away from your glutes, right? You have that rotation so that the tops of the feet are pressing down. Walk it all the way through. Lower the belly onto the thighs. Sorry about that. That was my daughter. I'm so sorry. Okay, it's life, right? So let's just make sure that our sit bones are pressing down into the earth, finding a bit of stillness. And then finding your last cycle of breath as you roll yourself all the way up. Okay, so let's take that boat pose again. So kind of lean back, legs come up towards the sky. Good. Remember, really tap that low belly to make sure that your navel's into your spine, you're contracting. Good. We're gonna bring the hands into prayer position. Extend the legs, allow the chest to lean back, and then pull everything in. You can keep those hands up if you would like. We're just gonna take some movements with the upper body and the lower body. You can always add the arms on into half boat, Ardha Navasana and boat. Keep that connection with your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, knees into chest, roll all the way down into a little ball. Release the soles of your feet down onto the ground, reach for your heels. We're gonna work a little bit on obliques and then we can call it a day because what awesome work we did. So let's lift the chest, anchor through the low belly, anchor through the low back, and then reach from side to side. Once again, tuning back in to what is calling to you. If you need that hands behind the head, that's okay. As long as you're kind of shifting from side to side. Space between your chin and your chest is important. Side to side. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, lower down. Arms reach all the way up and overhead, taking a stretch. And then as your palms come down by your side, lift your hips up. Taking a bridge pose. If you want to go a little deeper, interlace your fingers underneath, take the shoulder blades, make a little shelf for your heart as you tuck the shoulders underneath your chest. Lift your hips up as high as you can go. And this is where we want to find a little bit more shallow breathing because we are bringing the chin in towards the chest. So just let go of that depth of breath. And then open the arms, release the hips down, knees into chest, take a little bit of a twist. Knees over to the left. Find that open, expanded wing on the right side. You can always extend that top leg. Coming back to center. Over to the right. Try to allow the shoulder to rest. Right, so no contraction anywhere. Release the muscles of the face. You're finding that you're scrunching. We do that often when we feel discomfort. Yoga is really supposed to help us create ease, not dis-ease. Let's come back to center. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. And then press your feet, lower your legs down. Now, if you want to come into Supta Baddha Konasana, bring the soles of your feet. Stay lowered onto your mat, I'm just gonna read a little something. Let's take a deep breath in, open your mouth and let it go. Now let go of your practice. Let go of your practice, whether good or bad. So this came across my desk and I just figured that I would share it with you. Hopefully it resonates. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shining for people who feel secure. Wait, I read that wrong. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine. Right? So our biggest fear is not that we are inadequate, but that maybe possibly our biggest fear is that we are the most powerful beings and we kind of shy away from that. So be grand, be fabulous. Write it on a note card, put it in your pocket. I am a powerful, shining being. And know that to be true. And don't shy away from being fabulous and amazing to make others feel good about themselves. And take this time to reflect on that. And thank yourself for showing up to your mat today. Hands in prayer to your third eye, your intuition and knowledge. It is always my honor to guide you. Be fabulous today, be awesome, be amazing. Do something outside of your comfort zone. Eat some spicy food, I don't know. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Namaste.